now, and I
Well,
fuse.
what are you studying, Jeff?
What am I studying right now?
In school, yes.
I mean, I'm studying law.
Why are you studying law? You want to be a lawyer?
Do I want to be a lawyer?
Wait, you said you don't want to be a lawyer?
No, I mean, I do want to be a lawyer. I mean,
Why do you want to be a lawyer?
because I have to do this.
Do you really have to do this?
I don't know. Like, I'm in like my 20s now, and I just figured that I'd kind of know a little bit better about like what I want to do and stuff. But it's just like a lot of my friends know like what they want to do, and
You see, most of us, especially if you live in the United States, have to choose a career before we can legally buy a beer. We have to decide when we are 17 or 18 or 19 what we want to do for the rest of our lives. I grew up in an Indian joint family. Now what this means is that we had 23 people living under one roof. I slept on a mattress lying on the floor next to my parents' bed, which is probably why I'm an only child. I was the kid with tape on my glasses because they would break all the time. That was what my teenage life was. But I realize now that every now and then life will f you up to teach you a lesson. And there was a lesson that I was going to learn. Bill Gates had just completed a trip to India. So all over the news in Asia, it was about Bill Gates, the richest man in the world. And my granddad was fascinated by Bill Gates. I remember as he was driving, he turned to me and he said words that would change my life. He said, "Vision, you must be rich like Bill Gates. You must learn computers." And so I started my career with the dream of becoming a computer engineer. I worked hard, I studied hard, I strove to get good grades. I was in denial though, because to be honest, I hated my classes. I would do just enough work so that I wouldn't get kicked out. I studied performing art. I got A's for performing art, but I never went down those paths because I would have disappointed my family. In my family, performing arts, photography, those are not real careers. Losers do that. In an Indian family, you're either an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, or a family failure. One day, in my junior year, Microsoft came to campus. They set up the booth, and all of us got to apply for the coveted Microsoft internship. Only 1% of computer science graduates in America would get that job at Microsoft. And I got it. I had made it. My grandfather, who at this point was dead, I knew if he was looking down on me, he would be so freaking proud. After being at that job for 1 and then 2 months, I woke up one night. Something fell off. The pivotal moment was about to come. A few days later, Bill Gates invited the entire batch of young Microsoft interns to his house. And we were in his front lawn, in his house, facing Lake Washington. The fellow interns who were part of our batch were there around Bill. He was shaking people's hands. He was telling them stories of the founding of Microsoft. But I couldn't go up to Bill. I couldn't shake his hand because in my mind, I knew that I was lying to myself and that I was lying to Bill. I shouldn't be there. I hated my job. I didn't want to be there. I was waking up day after day after day, and every time the alarm clock would ring, I would go and hit the snooze button, and then hit the snooze button again. And every day I spent in that office, I felt like my soul was being crushed. Often, our biggest lessons, Jeff, come from pain. They come from suffering. They come from moments where you feel that the world is unfair and the universe spits on you. You see, I didn't become an engineer for me. I became an engineer because at some point when I was a kid, my grandfather, with all his love, wanting me to be safe, wanting me to be rich like Bill Gates, implanted a belief in my head that was what success looked like. I was probably the only person in that class who didn't shake Bill's hand. I decided I was going to quit. But then I decided, oh damn, if I quit, my parents are never going to forgive me. So I hatched a plan to get fired. I simply shut the doors to my office and I played Age of Empires all day until my manager discovered me and kicked me out. I was lucky. I was lucky that I discovered how horrendous life can be when you go down the wrong path. I was lucky I discovered that early. But so many of us manifest not what our soul wants us to experience, but what our culture wants us to experience. But the problem is, like a fish swimming through water who can't see that it is in a substance called water, we can't see that we are swimming in a tangled web of human ideologies. I found myself broke, having to rent a two-seater sofa from a college kid in Berkeley. Two-seater so that my legs kind of hung off at night when I slept. On that two-seater sofa was everything I owned. To the outside world, that seemed completely irrational and stupid. I didn't dare tell my parents. I was trying to pull myself out. You see, sometimes when we follow our heart, it's not going to be easy. And that second lesson is, what is more important than the outside voices is the voice within. And the voice within was telling me to press on. So, I started the company for $700. That's all it took. Started out in a Starbucks. And that's how the company and the life that I have today slowly started to form. And it took 10 years for everything to click. It didn't just work out perfectly. Remember, when you start doing the right thing, it's not like all of a sudden everything clicks and everything moves effortlessly. If that were true, you would not learn jack. Your soul wants you to paint this beautiful picture of your own life, this original masterpiece. You decide where the reds go and where the blues go and where the yellows go. You decide that. But most people don't. Most people rather decide that they want their life to come from a photocopy machine. They want their life to be photocopied from the lives of the people around them. Their fathers, their mothers, their grandparents, their teachers, what society says is right. And yes, you will be safe as a photocopy, but you will always risk that chance that you will wake up one day at the age of 40 wondering, what the happened to my life? Why do I hit the snooze alarm over and over and over again? So remember the movie The Matrix, when Neo was given the choice between the blue pill or the red pill. The blue pill would make him continue living life as it is now. The red pill would make him wake up. There is a red pill in life. Now, you can take the blue pill, you can do life the way everyone else is doing. And I bet that over time, if you do it well, life will get better and better for you. Some of you might take the red pill. I did that. Now, when you take the red pill, when you choose not to follow the status quo but to try to do your own thing, very often, this is what's about to happen. Your life will not have that same level of quality because you're doing things a little bit different. But eventually, things will click and you will end up significantly better off than the people who might follow the pre-planned, photocopied life that everyone else follows. Now, this is your choice. You can choose to do the blue line or you can choose to do the red line. The only voice that you should really take seriously is that voice within. So, Jeff, come up here. Would you choose the blue pill? Jeff, the lawyer, and I'm sure there's good reason to be a lawyer. Or would you take a little bit more of a risk and choose the red pill?